There's a load of wisdom. There's loads of good football chat. There's loads of good talk, man. So I think there's a lot of really good stuff to take from today. Thank you for coming down, man.
Well, thank you so much. What a wonderful, wonderful introduction and welcome. And and thank you for inviting me, George. And I wish you all the best for this show. I know this is your second show.
Yeah, man.
And it's an honor to be invited, man.
Big up, bro. Big up. Before we really get into it, I need to do a little bit of, I've called it promo and praise. So the last few weeks we've had I've had a few events on. So I've had the mental health workshop with EOTT down at Artem, which, that was a really, really, really lovely. It was a really lovely event. So I've never done before. A lot of reasons why I wanted to do it. So the process of sort of going through these, creating events with some Seller and Brum Tropicana and, working at Hadley and Artem, you have to sort of take yourself on a bit of an emotional battle. A lot of sort of anxieties creeping. A lot of...
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, man.
100%.
You sort of have to strap yourself in for a real emotional roller coaster. And I think that 9 years into events, you'd think it would get easier, but it somehow doesn't. I think it becomes a little bit slightly more daunting. I hope I didn't really expect to be saying that, but it does feel harder. So, anyone who comes to events now and enjoys themselves, I am, and I've always have been really, really grateful and really appreciative. But now it really means a lot more now, I think, than it did before. I think years ago it was a lot of fun. You're trying to get this, this thing out, this brand, this sound. You're going to all these different clubs and whatever. But now it just seems like, okay, we're taking things a bit more seriously now. But you've got to strap yourself in for that. So yeah, it's different, but with
so how did it go? How did it go, man?
Oh, it was great. It was great. There was a spoken word poetry workshop with a lady called Hadley, who I used to work for back in the day. What she does is she works with people who suffer with addiction and get them to do this poetry workshop. And I tell you what, it didn't leave me speechless because that's not what it was about. But she would say, if your life was an album, what would it be called? What would track 1 be called? What would track 2 be called? What would track 3 be called?
I like that question.
Yeah, that's man. Cool. What would the album artwork look like? And
I'm imagining my own right here, actually, now.
but considering what we do and how we love music, it just made us made me look at things completely differently. And there was a really nice part that she said, where she went, "What do you need to hear today?" So I wrote down what I needed to hear. She said, "I want you to tell someone else that today." It's just a nice, simple.
It's positive, man.
It's positive
energy, man.
Yeah, man. It's really positive, and I took a lot away from it. So big up Hadley for that. She's I'm definitely going to be working with her in the future and trying to do some more of these workshops together. We had some live music from Safari as well. That was brilliant. That was like a live, stripped down R&B set. It was really, really smooth, man. Really.
So
nice.
It's an event with all different genres of music.
Yeah, so we went for a bit of a well-being, spoken word, and you'll sort of interact and engage. Then there was some nice live music where we just chill, and then I did a talk with the guy that runs the brand, and I brought a guest up called George Fauburn, who does a brand called New Motive in Bristol, and we sort of just spoke about the anxieties and all that sort of stuff, and it was good, and it was an open mic, so people got to engage and to say what affects them, and what do they do that makes things better if they're struggling with their mental health. And it was great. It was nice. It was a complete different feeling than doing a party. I sort of come out of it feeling a bit lighter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
well, that's what it's about. That's what I do.
Yeah, man. So, and this is this is why it felt perfect to get you on, because I've felt that these last few months I've been in that place where I'm really I'm digging deep for a lot of answers and a lot of feelings, man. and it's positive, but sometimes you've got to go to the darker places to come out to see the light. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
Well, I'm glad to be here. You know, we've got enough reasoning to do today.
Yeah, man.
Enough reasoning.
Another quick shout out. So I want to say thank you to everyone who come down to Some Cellar 9th birthday. That was insane. Like, I was so blown away from the response for that, because some people might have known that, I got a bit nervous a few weeks before it. I might have said to Poppy that I think this is looking like a busy main room, but not enough for two. Bro, I was chatting absolute shit, man. It went off. It was sick. So big up everyone who came down, and it was the best vibes. The DJ smashed it. Crowd was wicked. No dramas. There will be more. I've got another event. I'm going to do another one on Friday the 13th of December, which is the Christmas event. So tickets are out. I haven't promoted it. So if you want to jump in and get tickets now, do it before I actually put it out. So
what's the venue, bro?
It's the Rainbow Cellar, Rainbow Courtyard. Whoop whoop. Yes, Poppy.
So that's where I started ONEDUB as well, Rainbow.
Yeah, man. And we can touch on this, bro. So
but I didn't realise it was there.
Yeah, man. So since we sort of went back to the Rainbow, the Cellar is just it's always been iconic to me.
The back of the pub.
Yeah. So you got the back of the pub, the courtyard, and the cellar.
Cellar. Oh, you're down under.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember. Yeah.
So we do both rooms, and like, it's quite nostalgic for us because we used to go out, and that was like the vibe. That was the place to go.
Yeah.
Courtyard, cellar.
You're the promoter.
Oh man, I love it, bro. I love it. So yeah, Friday the 13th of December, come down. It's a Friday. Usually I try and do a Saturday, but check this. It's my girlfriend's birthday in December.
Wow.
The weekend before Christmas, I have to compromise on this one. I know, I'm getting a thumbs down.
No, come
I've
on.
got to no.
Give him a break.
No, we're going to have a nice holiday. So
where are you going nice?
We're going to Morocco.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we went to Marrakesh last year, but we're going to go to a nice place called Tagazout, which is like a bohemian surfers little getaway. So yeah,
I didn't know you surf. See, I didn't know.
I can't surf, man. I'm surfing the net. That's about it. No, but I would like to try. So this could be the perfect time to try it. But
go for it, man. Have a nice time.
Yeah, man. So it's time for the big introduction. Yeah. So I've got none other than Iman down.
Come on, man.
Oh man, the founder of ONEDUB. Bro, full of enlightenment. Just, I'm absolutely gassed to have you down, man. And there's so much stuff we need to talk about, bro.
Come on, then. Where are we starting?
Guess what I've got first?
Go on.
Aston Villa. It would be rude to not talk about the success of this mighty football club in the Midlands called Aston Villa.
And we've actually not spoken for like 2 days, because of this show coming up.
It's been so tempting, and for some reason your Facebook's been present more than ever. To me, I see you got the Raston.
Yeah, Raston Villa Lion. Yeah.
Add it up,
Facebook,
man. Follow it up, man.
Yeah.
And mate, you got a good following on that.
I think it's like my most popular thing on Facebook now. You know what I mean? More than my reggae and everything. It's quite amazing. Is there a way we can we can collaborate together? The Villa and the reggae, do you think? No, it's one family already. It's one big story anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'll kind of explain today, and what I explained to Art of Football as well when I met them.
Yeah, man.
It's just one big thing. Growing up in Birmingham, reggae music was so big. In the 80s and the 90s, reggae music was massive. And obviously my love affair with Aston Villa started way back in 1986. During the relegation season of all seasons, but that was my first season. You pick your time, bro. But it's like I explained, it's all part of life. It's all the ups and downs. It's all part of it. To me. What's
quite interesting about that is there'll be people who or like kids who have gone through the exact same thing. Really, like they've chosen Aston Villa when we've been in Championship and we were shit.
Yeah.
And now they're seeing us going, I'm so glad I didn't pick Man U.
That's right.
So it's like any local lad or fan that doesn't pick Man U, Liverpool, Arsenal to be a Villa fan.
Absolutely.
I've raised it, like, you just have to do it, man. Like,
But I say the same for even the local clubs as well.
Yeah.
You know, our neighbours, Birmingham, West Brom, and you know, I say to those fans, fair play, because you know you could easily support Man United or you know Liverpool, whatever. It's too easy now. Real Madrid. You know, you can watch all the games nowadays. It's different. But back in them days, you had to go to the game to see the game. You get me? And I just fell in love with it. I absolutely loved it. Loved playing football. And as you can see, you know, great legend, man, like Bob Marley.
Yeah, man.
It's the Rastaman sport, you get me?
Yeah,
football
man.
is the Rastafari sport. Bob Marley said that, you know, football is freedom, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of see it like that, you know, obviously going football for so long, I've been you know, a teenager, a young man, you know, I'm getting a bit older now as well. So I've gone through many stages of life. But the thing that remains the same is that it's just this passion, you know, it's just this interest, you know, it's just a game, you know, but it sort of just takes your mind away from normal life and anxieties that we face when you got events planned, or, you know, you got your children to deal with, or whatever it may be in life, you know what I mean? And I think now, having suffered and gone through all these trials and tribulations over the years, and I remember going down to Villa probably, you know, before we got relegated, and I think, you know, I only used to go to certain games. I didn't have a season ticket. And I remember one time for about 4 or 5 years, I don't think I seen us even score a goal. Every game I went to was Aston Villa 0, somebody, you know.
I'd say me and Leon, we were quite present around the, you know, the shit stuff. But it was quite, I don't know, I found it quite funny, and that's not really like what most fans in the ground are feeling. Like, I remember we'd like pass the ball out for a throw-in, and I'd be like, I've just paid to see this. Like, it's actually mad.
I know, it was terrible, it was. But at the same time, it's like, I always knew that, you know, one thing I always argued with all my, you know, friends who were Liverpool fans or whatever, I would always argue and say that, no, this club is a massive football club.
Yeah.
You know, and it just needs something to happen, you know, obviously from the top down.
And who's came in and done that? Can we mention his name? Unai Emery. Come on, mate, listen, as soon as I think about the impact this guy has had,
actually, today is Happy Unai Day, you know. 2 years today since Unai Emery came to Aston Villa.
What a guy, man. We were linked with like Sean Dyche and stuff. Was it even Sean Dyche? Like,
to be honest, you know, when I heard the name, I was a bit like, Unai Emery, really?
Yeah. Weren't he really bad at Arsenal, that guy?
You know, I was
Yeah.
But then, first game, Man United at home.
27
years of not beating them at home, and watching most of them as well.
Can't stand Man U.
And I went to the last one, 1995 or something, when we beat them 3-1, and David Beckham scored his first ever Premier League goal, and everyone's like, you know, who's he? You know, David Beckham, you know. So 27 years later, Man United roll up Ronaldo and all that, and Unai Emery's first game, and we absolutely smashed them 3-1. And I remember standing in the hall, and I said to my fans around me, I said, this is the greatest manager we've ever had already.
Yeah.
Because I just know that he's a manager.
But he's creating history, like, from the get-go, really. Like,
what he's done is just incredible. Absolutely. There's no words to even describe it. And it's an absolute joy to watch it and be part of it. And we deserve it. That's what I think I'm getting to the point, is that having gone through all these trials and tribulations, I think we deserve this now.
Yeah, man.
Let's just enjoy it. But the thing about it is, I don't think it's a flash in the pan. I think he really wants to, like he said on an interview just recently, he said, I'm not here to waste no time. You know, we got to push. I want to win. You know, I want to go to the top.
He's brought all the background stuff in. He's brought the boys in. He's brought everybody
Munchy
in.
and all these
guys.
He
can't be doing that and then saying, "Listen, lads,
They look like some gangsters to me. You know, they look like the Goodfellas or something like that. But it's I don't mean it in a violent way. I just mean they're just serious about what they're doing. You know, you can tell that they take it serious. And I've actually taken some of his, some of his values into my own life. You know,
really?
Yeah, because when I saw him. Because, you know, a lot of the top managers, you know, if they don't win a game or something don't go their way, you know, a lot of them will say, oh, the ref this, or, you know, the pitch, the grass.
You'll
is
never
too
catch
long.
him do that.
Unai Emery's policy is there are no excuses at all. We never make an excuse. Never. We never criticize the referee or VAR. Even though most of the time we're watching and we're like, what is going on? But he just doesn't allow it because he wants you to just focus on what you can actually do.
Do you remember the
problems come in life? Do you understand?
Of course.
This is what the truth is. Nothing's perfect in life. You're gonna lose sometimes as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna take a beating sometimes. You know, but you know what? Come back tomorrow. Focus. Do your thing. You know. Yeah. So I've kind of tried to take that on.
What was great? I remember when we lost to Man U on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And
we should have won, shouldn't we?
I said to you, I hate Man U with a passion, and we were winning. I think we were winning 2-0.
I think 2-0 at half time, and with total control.
Yeah, it ruined my it ruined my Christmas. It ruined Christmas a little bit. No, not completely. But his interview after was like, they were saying, "Are you disappointed in the team?" Blah blah blah. He just said, 38 points, amazing.
Yeah.
And he just got straight back to the positives.
Just focus on the positives.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
So
you always have to count your blessings, you know.
It's mad that whatever he does, he's right.
Yeah.
Like, he's just right.
Well, we'll probably touch on it as well, but obviously, as Rastafari as well, it's like, they say, in life they talk about like, the coming of the Messiah,
Yeah.
Like, Unai Emery is like that to Aston Villa,
I love it.
He is.
I love it, man. I want it to be a game right now.
And I don't mean it in that way because, obviously he's just a man and he's just a football manager, but in that realm of football, he has, what he's done is miraculous at Aston Villa. It is unbelievable. Not only have we got into the Champions League, we've won every game without conceding, and we're top of the league. Even after yesterday,
like, Liverpool won, Man City, we are still top.
We're still top.
But it shows you how important like the clean sheets are.
But we're not looking over our shoulder. We're not really thinking what the other team's doing.
Yeah.
It's just because that's his way.
Just focus on what's in front of you.
What you're doing every match. And as soon as that match finished the other night, I know he would have been talking to them about Bournemouth, right? Bournemouth on Saturday.
Yeah.
His mind will just be straight onto that. No celebrating, going out drinking, or patting himself on the back. It's just back to work,
Just want to let everyone know we will be talking about music as well. I notice we are talking a lot about the Villa, but we have to talk about the Villa.
We have to. But this is our music as well, Football is part of it too,
Yeah, man. What I'd like to sort of... Actually, I'll talk a little bit more about the Villa. Who's your favourite player at the moment?
Wow.
So many.
John Duran is just like a phenomenon. And because, my heart is in... I'm a youth worker as well, or I was, a full-time youth worker back in the day. I love, this, the zeal of young people, and this... He's just... What they're saying, football, he's chomping at the bit, and he just wants to tear teams to bits. Like
he's got chaos to him.
Yeah, Captain Chaos.
Yeah, man.
And from the first time I saw him, I just thought, wow, this kid is serious. And again, one of my former favorite players was Juan Pablo Angel. Big up Juan Pablo.
Yeah, man. It was his birthday today as well.
Is it?
I'm sure it was his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Hermano. What a player. I just loved him. And I remember when John Duran signed, and there was this video message in the hotel from Juan Pablo, and I just thought that was so good.
So good, such a good touch.
And when he was sort of on the brink of leaving John Duran in the summer, as we saw this Hammers sign and all that, I was on my page saying, no, we need to keep hold of him. Just forget all of this. He's young. He just wants to play. Unai will sort him out. He's got some. He's gonna make the difference. And look what he's done. I didn't think he'd do this.
That Everton goal.
The Everton goal was. I think that was the first time that I was in the ground, but I didn't like cheer or nothing. I just went
silent.
I was silent.
Yeah.
I just froze, and I thought, it's literally. I explained it to my daughter the other day. I said, I feel like what's happening at Aston Villa is almost like Jose Mourinho and Chelsea, Arsene Wenger and Arsenal, maybe not Alex Ferguson and Man United, but he just feels like something is special. He's
Yeah.
got full control, and he's going to be here for a long time. And I can just picture him kissing some silverware very soon.
Man.
Honestly, I do.
We all
I might be wrong, and I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think we have the right to dream now, because this is not, to me, a flash in the pan. This is serious now.
I think if we get any silverware or, you know, anything happens, I need to book some time off. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll be in, like, you know, that spirit. And I want to hold on to it. I don't ever want to let go. What I don't want is the next season to start. I want to be like, that's football done now.
Yeah.
We can just sign that off. I'm going to go and just live on the beach.
It goes on forever. Because the thing is, like I said to my neighbour the other day, I said, actually, you know, if Aston Villa were in the Championship now still or whatever, we'd still be going.
Oh, yeah.
We'd still be there.
Yeah.
Screaming them on.
Yeah, man.
You know, convincing ourselves that this dream might happen one day. But no, here we are. Let's enjoy it. Can't wait for Bournemouth on Saturday.
I need to... how do you feel about, like, we've got, like, Crystal Palace in the Cup? Do you think we're going to take that seriously, or do you think that'll be...
Yeah, I think he'll go for everything.
Really?
I think we've got the squad. The squad's very deep. Even the players sort of on the fringe of the squad will
How
probably
good was
be
it for,
brought
like,
in.
Kamara and Mings, man?
It's unbelievable. The bench was just...
Buendia,
it's
like,
ridiculous.
these dudes,
There's hundreds of millions of pounds worth of talent on the bench. And obviously the window's going to come again soon, and we've already got players out on loan, like Illing Jr., who came with...
He got a good
with Bologna
reception
the
as
other
well.
day,
He
yeah.
must be buzzing, really.
That was quite strange watching an opposition player.
I didn't even...
which is
Right, we
your
started
player.
clapping. I just clap. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
know.
And I was like, your man's literally running up and down the line for the opposite team. What the... Yeah, but he must think, fuck, I can't wait to come back to
that was
these.
strategic, because I think it was just all the PSR stuff and, you know,
Yeah.
the sale of Douglas Luiz, that they were sort of an exchange, wasn't it? It was... They've done wonders anyway. The
Yeah.
team has just done absolute wonders to deal with all that financial stuff as well. So we're just doing great off the pitch and on the pitch. And I think now the next phase in the future now is that we need to redevelop Villa Park. And I don't want to move from there, basically. I just don't want to move. Let's make it as big as possible at Villa Park. And that, I'm happy with that.
I mean, there was some talks of, like, some kind of rebuild, but
Yeah.
I don't know too much.
It got
about
put on hold because I think we're in the Champions League now. Right now,
There's too much going on.
we would have only had 3 sides to the stadium now, basically. So I think Chris Heck just decided, no, we can't be in the Champions League and just have 3 sides of the stadium. It's better we just work with it for now.
I've worked in construction, and I am sort of currently kind of doing that. Like, it's to build something whilst there's a game on, or, like, you know, around a season. Like, that's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I
a
know.
lot of work going into it for what, like 5,000 extra seats or something, was it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's more. No, it's more.
Is
That
it?
if they were going to do the whole of the North Stand, I think it would have taken capacity to about 52, 53,000. So another 10,000 on the attendance. It would have been massive.
Still would
But I
be
think
good.
the plans are still there. But
And it, like,
we'll
it's
see.
sort of putting a little corner on the.
I think what they're going to do now, temporarily, they're going to fill in the corners of the North Stand.
Yeah.
They're just going to put like a temporary build just to add extra seats.
Yeah.
And then I think we've got the Euros are coming soon as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
But then I think, after that, they're going to have a bigger plan. I think they should just sort of take, like, like the Trinity Road stand, just
Yeah.
take it all the way around the rest of the ground and
Yeah.
just leave the whole tent,
See, I like the
Just
little
make
gaps.
it all that big.
I like the gaps.
But I think you've got to utilize the space.
Nah, maybe.
You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yeah. Anyway.
going into the future now,
What another thing I want to talk about is your amazing link up with Art of Football. Like,
Oh yeah.
that. It was. What was great was the words, I think, as well. I think what Josh has put through.
Yeah, man. Big up Josh.
Big up
Art of
Josh, man.
Football
Josh
every
is an
time.
absolute geezer.
Respect, man. Wolverhampton Wanderers supporter, Yeah.
Nah, what a really nice guy, man. And
Yeah, man.
me and him, we did a little Art of Football promo video. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
saw
saw
it.
that. I did. Yeah, I saw that.
Mate, we linked up about, God, it can't have been any later than 10:30 in the morning. I must have drank about 10 Guinness that before 4 o'clock and doing this shoot, bro. So we were sort of trying to pick some some old school pubs. I would do some shoots here.
Yeah, I remember seeing you some old.
The Big Balls Head serves beer from like 10:30. So yeah, we got stuck in, man. We got stuck in, and yeah, I was.
We didn't do that. We didn't.
We was gallivanting around. I took him back to Hockley as well. We had a few there, and I'm like, brother, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm like that.
So how long was you chatting to him for?
We probably did it for about 4 hours, just bouncing around Digbeth and going to different venues. We went to the Rainbow. We went to XOYO, that used to be the Rainbow.
So you're kind of showing him your promotional history and all that.
And try not to slur my words too much, man. But I'm bad, bro. Like I can get into that mind frame of should we have a quick drink now, and then it don't stop.
I don't drink, only water.
We're gonna touch on your diet as well.
Yeah, man, no problem.
But just want to talk a bit more about art football before we get on to music and everything.
Thank you for that as well. Thank you for putting me on to Josh. It was an honour, to kind of represent.
Not
Aston
a problem,
Villa,
Well, he said to me, he's like, "Do you know any characters down the Villa?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "You know what? Straight away, bro." I can't. I think I must have had a conversation with you in the week talking about the Villa, and I was like, "There's only one man for the job." Do you know what I mean? It's Iman. So,
thank you, bro.
No, it was amazing. I think his words were great. The photos were brilliant. What he said. Oh no, sorry. What you said about Ollie Watkins, I thought was quite nice. I felt that it's quite heartfelt.
Yeah, yeah. After my mum passed away, we signed Ollie not too long after, and her surname's Watkins. Yeah, so that my mum's side of the family is Watkins, and to be honest, I've never ever heard of a professional footballer with the surname Watkins before, like in any level. I just can never recall hearing that name, which I would have because it's my mum's name, So we signed Ollie Watkins, and I'm like, wow. So every time he scores, it's like, I just hail up my mum, you know what I mean, and say, "Mum, Watkins again," because my mum was a blues fan growing up. A lot of my family was blues. But I turned her, by the end, I turned her Villa, you know what I mean? Even if she didn't admit it, she'd listen to all the games on the radio, a lot of our communications and discussions were about football and what had happened, or, or she'd say, "Oh, they're rubbish," she'd say, you know what I mean? "Oh, shut up, Mum. They're trying," you know what I mean? But yeah, I remember I took her to the Aston Villa 5 Birmingham City 1 game, remember, back in the day.
Man. What a game, I was there.
Ashley Young and Agban Lahore, Gareth Barry.
We took the mic, didn't we?
Yeah, it was. And I took her to that game.
And when they scored, we celebrated with them. We was Oh, mate, it was great. It was great.
Brilliant.
It was good times, man.
But when I met Josh, we talked for about 3 hours. And I was kind of explaining to him about my love for reggae music, growing up in Birmingham and coming to the football, coming to Aston Villa, and also my faith as a Rasta and as a now baptized Ethiopian Orthodox Christian, And it was during a fasting time as well. So the Holy Trinity Church, which is linked to the club, obviously, there's the Holy Trinity Church, there's Villa Park, and there's Aston Manor Hall. Yeah. And this is all historical. There's a big link between all three, because obviously Aston Villa was founded by Christians, and I was trying to explain these things to him and all the different links. And it was during a fasting time. So this church, Holy Trinity Church in Aston, is actually now used by Ethiopians as well. And it was just there was like a small service going on in the week, and it just emptied of loads of Ethiopian people, in red, gold, and green and everything. And he was like, "Wow."
It's just meant to be, on that day. Like, it was amazing. Like, I've spoke to Josh since, and he's like, he's so buzzing that he's met you.
Yeah, man. He's lovely, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And his products as well are absolutely brilliant. He gave me a nice hoodie that I wear to every game.
Yeah, man.
The Champions League T-shirt and that Brum T-shirt that.
You got the Brum one?
Yeah, you gave me that one as well, man. So respect Josh, man. He looked after me as well.
You know what? I've got a really good touch about the Brum top. So I went to Olympiacos away. So we were losing 2-0 already.
Oh yeah, you went there, innit?
So I went to the semis.
Second leg.
So we was like, you know what? We're already gonna go, but a lot of people were like, oh fuck, we're not going now. Fuck this, we're gonna lose. But we got that tune about Diaby and it. We're all going to Athens. I was saying to the old man, my dad, I was like, we just need to go because we've been singing that tune that much. Even if we lose, you know, we don't know. Are we gonna do it next year? Are we gonna? We don't know. So we went there.
Because really, that lyric was to say that we're going to the final in Athens. But it was actually in Athens for the semi-final as well, innit? Yeah,
so we went back to the Witten pub after that home fixture where we were losing, and me and a few of us were singing that because we were like, I don't care, we're going. Yeah. We're all going to Athens. Oh, fuck it, yeah, man. When I was out there, they released the promo video of me in the Brum top. Oh, but I was in a pub with loads of Villa fans, and like, I saw one of the lads in the pub literally look at his phone with the promo video of like me in the top, and then look up at me. I was like, hang on, is that you? I was like, yeah. He's like, wow, yes, bro. He was sick. He had a nice little reception.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of followers, and I think a lot of people have seen the one that I did as well, and a lot of Villa games I go to now. You know, people always like shouting.
Yeah, you're a big celeb now, man.
Or taking selfies or whatever and stuff.
When the players do that red carpet from the coach to I know you'll be in there soon.
Nah,
There'll be something going on.
I stand back a bit now. You know what I mean? It's a bit much.
There'll be a crowd surf.
I just like to go and watch the game quietly, you know what I mean? I just like to just...
No way, man. I know you're not being quiet at the game. No way, man.
No, I am, you know, like before the game, because I actually get to the game very early. I like to get there early. I like to be like one of the first fans in. I just like to just sit there and just take it all in. And
feel the vibe.
It's a bit of a peaceful moment, yeah? But then when the game starts, then it's different. Then I'm a bit...
Get into it.
Yeah. But I'm a bit more refined now, you know. I'm a bit getting older now, you know. I because, like I say, like, you know, going through the trials and tribulations before, some of those defeats are heavy, you know. They are. You used to take it home, and it would spoil your weekend. You're not going out. You're cancelling. It would upset. Yeah, you know what I mean. Or even myself. But no, now I try and, you know, it's just a game.
Yeah.
You know, there are more important things in life at the end of the day. You know, it's very important, but it's not everything. You know, you have to put it in its place. You know what I mean?
I think that comes with like, I think a bit of like age and maturity.
Yeah, when you get older,
well,
definitely I feel like that. But it still means a lot to me, you know.
Oh, massive.
And now, like, you know, because I've got 18-year-old son, Jamal. Big up Jamal.
Yes, Jamal.
And Ayana, who's recently turned 15.
Happy birthday.
And Zaria in Sweden. Love you. So yeah, but Ayana last season, she started coming to all the European games. She just loves the European games. She's not interested in the league.
Is it like the away fans because they're quite interesting, they're quite lively,
I
man.
think it's under the lights, you know, the foreign supporters, the ultras and all that.
A lot more bouncing, isn't it? There's a lot more.
She experienced the Legia Warsaw
really?
last week, you know, last season, and so she just loves it now. And but like I used to explain to them when they were younger, when they used to come with me, I'd say, you know, I'm not bringing you to the game to make you be a Villa fan or to force you to like football. Yeah. It's just like I'm just trying to. It's just nice to spend some time together, you know, like, and so you can understand what it means, you know.
Yeah.
You know that it's not everything, but it's kind of important. To me, it's like reggae. I hold it like how I love reggae music. It's my peace, you know. It's my it's good for mental health, you know.
Yeah.
Villa weren't at one time. Do you know what I'm saying though? But yeah, to me, like football and music are tools to bring people together.
Yeah.
More than you know, than to separate and argue and all that. So that's why I don't really kind of get into the bantery kind of stuff and all that business no more. You know, I just respect all football supporters because at the end of the day, we're kind of in this. It's the same religion.
So you said about passion. You went, you know, one thing that we've got in common is we've all got the same passion for a club, and it's a really nice and sort of healthy way to look at it, I suppose. Yeah, man. What we need to do, is we need to start talking about music.
It's all right. It's all right, man.
So we need to talk about ONEDUB.
Yeah,
So
man.
my first ONEDUB interaction was at Hockley, and bro, you cracked me up, man, because I was like, mate, the terrace, it could be a bit. I'm sure there was like a weather warning, and he was like,
yeah, it was a bit wet.
And he was like, if it rains, it rains, and I just thought, like, the venue staff were just like, oh my god, we can't do this outside. We're gonna damage equipment, all this, and he was just content, bro. You were just like, if it rains, it rains. Like,
yeah,
so what?
Don't worry.
What's gonna happen?
Jah will protect. You know what I mean? That's just the attitude. You know.
And what I remember, the sound system was insane. It was serious, man. And like, what was funny is, I remember I walked out of Hockley, and there was like a tower block, like on the other side. I started walking up the hill. I thought, I need to sort of check how loud this is. And bro, I could have kept walking all the way to flipping the top of Soho Road. It was going off, man.
It's only little, but you know, it's little but talawa.
It was good, man. It was powerful.
Yeah, man.
You know, you brought a lot of records and books, flags.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you really, really went in with it, and like, it's great to see. It was really, you know, the amount of effort you go into is incredible.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Beautiful words. But yeah, that's the intention. You know, that's to show that how much, just like the football in a way. You know, like you bring your banners, you display your love. You know, your devotion for this music, and obviously, for me, you know, this love is for the Emperor. You know, because this reggae music has been inspired by Haile Selassie, and that's where my love and my journey with the Emperor has taken on, wow, so many levels over the years. As I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit, some recent events that have happened. But even like, you know, my son was born on the Emperor's birthday when I became a father.
Meant to be.
He was born on the 23rd of July, 2006. So that day I was just like, wow, you know, this is, because I kind of asked for a sign, you know, before he came. I'd always known about Haile Selassie because of my love for reggae music and for Bob Marley as well. But I had to kind of overstand it, as we say, overstand instead of understand. I had to, you know it for myself. And as it says, you know, seek and ye shall find. So, yeah, through all these journeys of life, bro, God will reveal himself to you. You know, I believe that for every person.
Yeah.
You know, in your own unique and personal way.
Can I ask you how you started ONEDUB and what made you want to do it?
Well, I think I've always loved reggae music. For a start, my dad's from Jamaica. I used to listen to records as a child. One of the first records I used to play was the Exodus album by Bob Marley.
Nice.
And that is where I think I first saw the face of the Emperor on the back of that album. And I just remember asking my mum, like, who is he? Like, who is he? You know? I remember it now more as an adult when I think back of certain things. And so it kind of started there. But then with ONEDUB, I think, like, you know, as I grew up into the 90s and stuff, I went on a different journey. You know, I was out clubbing. Like I told you, some of these streets, I was out here clubbing. I'd gone into sort of, you know, hip-hop, R&B, garage, you know, house, all that, jungle. And then, you know, after all that kind of frazzled out, really, because reggae also kind of went down as well during that period, but reggae, I think, had a comeback, I would say, like early 2000s maybe, with people like Richie Spice and Sizzler and these kind of artists. They kind of come back with a Rastafari roots reggae music that I always loved as a child. But then all my mates would be like, you know, ridiculing me, like, you know, it's just old, like, Jamaican, it's like our dad's music.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, yeah.
But I'm saying, nah, man, this music's cool, man, let's go and, you know, because, you know, back in the day in Birmingham, you could go to a reggae, you know, blues party pretty much every night of the week somewhere, especially like in Bourse area, Handsworth. You know, there'd be something going on, sound system set up. And I was always fascinated by the sound system, by the turntable, the speakers, the sound effects box, and, you know, and the Rasta man and the dreadlocks and, you know, everything, the ganja smoking. And I was just like, wow, you know. It just excited me. Same like going to football excited me, but for kind of different reasons, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so that would be it. Growing up, really, it'd be going to the football and then going out to sound system session somewhere.
That's a good Saturday, man.
What a life! And it's carried on now up until I'm nearly 50 now. So yeah, so.
What, nearly 50? What, bro?
49. I'm 49. I'm 50 next year.
I'm actually greyer than you, though. That's the thing.
So ONEDUB, I'm still not answering the question. I got to answer the question. So ONEDUB, yes, I'm just trying to put the backstory. You know, reggae was in me from the beginning. Went off on some, drum and bass thing, and then reggae came back, and I just felt like, yeah, man, reggae, And then my son was born as well, and that was when I stopped cutting my hair. I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking alcohol, I stopped eating meat, I stopped eating all these, I went vegan, fully ITO. And ONEDUB, basically, so I was going to reggae events in London and in Bristol and other cities, and Birmingham's reggae scene, to me, just felt flat, considering the history, the deep history that Birmingham had with reggae and how many things used to happen, and I just felt like, you know what? Yeah, so what happened was 2010, Jashaka came to the Rainbow Warehouse, and I went, right? And when I went in there, that's what I saw. I just saw all the wall just full of pictures of Haile Selassie, and this man, one Rasta man, just set up with his sound system. And I was like the John Duran moment, I was like, just stood there with my mouth open. Like, I remember I don't think I even danced the whole night. I just stood there watching him. Like, I was just in awe of this man. And then I got to realize that, because I'd heard of him before, but Jashaka is known as like the king of sound systems, like the number one. Like, he originated, and it was all about songs of praise. It was all about giving devotion to Haile Selassie, So that's probably what you've seen. When I came to Hadley, that's what you've seen, sort of like a reflection of that in a way. Because I like that. I love that. I just love that.
Very like spiritual. It's very enlightening. It's uplifting.
Yeah.
And you're sort of going away like you've learned something as well. You don't, I've been to many events where you're sort of, you're just dancing and you're getting a bit drunk or whatever. But this is something different.
Well, that's it. So I was going to reggae events, and the sound systems and the music was great and everything. But yeah, sometimes the crowd is very mixed, and the behavior of the crowd is a bit, a bit ravey, that kind of style. When it shouldn't be like that to me. To me, reggae music is like spiritual music. It's gospel music. It's it's like, it should be like church. And to me, that's what Jashaka gave me, that vibe, It's just one man, just spreading that message. And so I thought, when I saw that in the Rainbow, when I saw Shaka in the Rainbow, I thought, maybe I should start an event here. Same thing. And my first idea was just for one sound system, because in the reggae sort of scene, there's a lot of clashing.
Yeah.
And Shaka was part of that back in the day, but Shaka broke off from that. He had enough, because everybody just wants to come and kill him. That's the talk. Kill a sound and kill this sound.
Who's got the dub?
But I mean, this tune and that tune, which I do kind of understand the competition, but that's where I think, in a way, music is different to sport, to football. Then say, in football you have to have competition because somebody has to win. Now, and you can have it in sound system as well, if that's what you choose to do. But I wanted ONEDUB to not be that. I wanted ONEDUB to be a spiritual event. I wanted it to be an event where, what was my slogan? Calling all nations and generations to come together, through the power of dub music. So I'm calling all nations, all religions, all backgrounds to come and just, listen to this music.
It's quite refreshing as well, I think, For me, who's probably listened to a lot of garage drum and bass, we go out and get pretty mash up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
It is very different, but I like that.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it has its place at the end of the day,
I'd sort of like anyone who's listening to this to go and experience that, really, because it's quite refreshing, because every weekend we are sort of used to doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Almost,
Yeah.
Going to certain events, or it is great. It's really it
But
takes
that
you
was
to a
the
different
great-
place.
I think that was the great thing about doing it at the Rainbow. So in 2012, I started ONEDUB. So we've just celebrated 12 years of ONEDUB in all its capacities. So I feel like in 2012, I planted this seed where I wanted to have an event where, there was vegan food on sale. There was frankincense in the air, there's things on sale. But at this time, it wasn't me, it was other people, it was traders coming in. And just, we'd probably need another whole show about the whole journey of it. But along the way, I started doing, loads of things just sprouted out of it. So it was not only just a sound system event, night out thing. I always knew ONEDUB would have many facets to it, and it would just continue to evolve, and it has, Now, I've got my own sound system, even though it's a 12 volt and it's just a small system, but to me, it does exactly what I want it to do. I don't want it to be an overpowering sound system. I don't want that. This just does the job. It enables me to then interact with people, speak to people, then, like you say, have records
When you
on
say you just want it to do the job, it can still do some serious.
I know, but if you heard some of the bigger sound systems, and that's why, as well, it would cause a lot of problems in the Rainbow. We used to get noise complaints. Some of the sound systems that used to come in, George, bro, listen, mate. One night, the upstairs bar, the whole bar was shook, like everything smashed, basically. The whole fridge, every drink, everything, and we were just sound checking. Some of these sound systems were ferocious. I mean, King Earthquake, some of these sound
with
systems.
a name like King
Maasai
Earthquake,
Warrior.
you've got to live up to that, I suppose.
And it was great. Don't get me wrong. I never regret anything that I do. Everything was absolutely fantastic. But what I'm trying to say is, just along that journey, I'd acquired my own style, if you like. I started playing as well. I started gathering my own record collection. I also have a record store, so I sell lots of all the new releases of all the roots music that's coming out of Europe, Jamaica, Japan, because this music's produced all over the world now.
What's like the Japan vibe like?
Japanese is very powerful, and they had a very deep connection with Jashaka, for example. Because as you know, with Japanese people, I think like they're very intelligent in the way that they'll study something, they'll study somebody's culture or something, and they'll sort of master it. They'll make it even better. And there was a lot of Japanese Rastas.
Love that. I've never saw that. I'd love to see that.
They would greet Jashaka. When Jashaka arrives in Japan, there's be hundreds of people greeting him, flowers, and he was like a prophet. That's how he was regarded, and
it's powerful, man.
I didn't only like I say, Jashaka inspired me to do ONEDUB, but then having done like lots of different events with lots of different sound systems for maybe 3 or 4 years, one day then me and Shaka connected. Because Shaka heard about me, he heard about this ONEDUB and Iman from Birmingham.
Oh, I love that.
And then we met and we started doing events.
How did that feel then?
At the Rainbow, that was unbelievable. And the first night at the Rainbow Warehouse at the end, because he has this famous moment, at the last tune, the lights on the last tune, he has this thing where, he says, Jah guidance, Jah guidance and protection to everyone. The last tune that, like when he's taking the record off and it goes quiet, Jah guidance and protection to everyone. This is the last tune, and you put it on, you hear the crackling.
Oh, I love it.
And he just played this tune to send you home, Jah guidance, Rastafari, and people are literally floating out of the venue. But
powerful though, isn't it?
What I was going to say is, at this last lights on moment, I went down to the sound system. I thought, because I had a stall upstairs. This was in the Rainbow. And 2014, I believe, December. And I went down to the sound system. Because like I say, he plays on his own. He controls the mic. It's not one of these sound systems where somebody can just go up and get the mic and start chatting and making noise. It's all orderly. It's just very calm. It's just music after music. And him saying something or chanting something sporadically, you know. And anyway, I go down for the last tune, the lights on, and stand right by the sound, like right, because he has like a little bit of like a barrier, you know, around him. And I went right close up. And he faces the wall, so he faces Selassie. He doesn't look at the crowd. He's not playing to the crowd. He's playing to His Majesty. So, you know, you're at his back, you know. And all of a sudden, he's turned around, and he went like this. He just went. And I was looking like that. And he's pointed to me, and he says, "Come." And he opened the barrier, and I went next to him, and he just gave me his microphone.
Mate.
And
Bro, that's powerful, man.
I can't remember what I said to this day. I kind of remember. I've never heard it again. I don't think anybody really caught it on camera or anything like that. But I just, you know, I think I just asked the crowd to just, you know, show, you know, make some noise for Jashaka, and I told him that I love you, Jashaka, and, you know, you're a great inspiration to me, and, you know, and we just had this deep connection, bro, honestly. Like, we'd speak on the phone pretty much every day about football often as well. A lot, loads. He loved Dean Smith. He loved Dean Smith, Jashaka. I don't know what it was. He said, he said, that man is a good man, that Dean Smith. Yeah, I swear. Because he was a Tottenham fan. He was a Tottenham fan, Shaka. So we would have loads of, and then we'd talk about Rastafari, and that was just normal.
I love that. I love that. That's, you know, if you ever bump into Dean Smith, that's a really cool thing
I know.
to sort of let him know. You know what I mean? That is cool. But like,
a good judge of character, you know, he's one of those people, yeah.
He's gonna love you, Unai Emery. Oh my God. So there's some really like powerful, spiritual events and moments that you've had with ONEDUB. You know, that being one of them. And you've told me about this in the past, and like it gets to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know.
Well, when these people pass away, because obviously when he passed away, that was just like, whoa, you know. And Benjamin Zephaniah passes away. All these great inspirations to me. But then I sit there and I think, wow, like, I didn't meet them for no reason.
Yeah.
Surely I've met them for a reason. And I just must continue this work. I must represent, you know, what they stood for.
Can we touch on Benjamin Zephaniah? Because
of course, yeah.
For me, as the older I've got as well, you know, I've got to listen, you know, read more about him, and I'm gutted. I'm gutted that he's no longer with us, because I felt that it was coming to a point where you think this is a real big moment for probably Birmingham and him, and what he's got to say and his importance. So it's a shame that he's no longer with us, man.
It is, but again, as we say in Rastafari, we don't die, we just multiply, you know?
Yeah, man.
And Benjamin's work will live forever. So Benjamin is alive and well in the spirit. And these are the teachings of the emperor. You know, the emperor explains to us that the good that you do in this world, it's immortal, it lives forever. The only thing that passes away is just the flesh and blown, and the, you know, the skin, flesh and bones, as we say. But our work, our good deeds, they live forever, you know. And you see in Bob Marley. Bob Marley lives forever. Everybody knows Bob Marley, even to this day. Bob Marley sells more records every year. He just keeps breaking records every year, because that message is eternal. And that's where my name, ONEDUB, comes from, really. It's an expression of one love, but through this dub genre of music, which, So I always give the credit to Jashaka, without doubt. And like I say, that was not only a working relationship. It was a very close. We would speak pretty much every day on the phone. He would call me pretty much every day. And Benjamin Zephaniah, obviously from Birmingham and a big Villa supporter as well, we would always talk about football, me and Benjamin.
You just have to. You just have to, wouldn't you?
So this is what I'm saying. This football thing just runs through everything as well. And Benjamin and Shaka had a huge, huge respect for each other. Massive respect. And what happened with me for many years is that I became this sort of pigeon message carrier between them. So when I saw Benjamin, he'd say, next time you see Shaka, remind him about that night, yeah, back in 1970 something when you know, I can't remember the stories now, but that I'd have to write them down, you know what I mean? And then I'd see Shaka and I go, Benjamin said, and he'd say, yes, I remember. And when you see Benjamin, tell him this, you know, and it would just be, I'd just be transporting these messages between them. And
that's a nice position to be in, though. Yeah,
exactly.
Of course, man. Oh my God.
But I suppose when it was going on, I didn't realize the real significance in it. But now they've both passed.
You're just thinking, God, I need to remember this.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You know, the influence they've had on me is huge, and they're both so different as well. That's one thing I always like to explain to people is that even within Rastafari, you know, everyone is unique. You know, to be a Rasta is not just this kind of one-size-fits-all thing, you know. His Imperial Majesty says that every person's relationship with God is unique and personal. And you have to seek God to find him, you get what I mean? And just like Bob Marley said on many interviews, you know, we looked around the world, we've looked, and in that time, His Majesty, you know, was held, and that's why reggae music started, and that's why Benjamin started his work. And yeah, as you know, we recently unveiled a plaque for him at the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery just around the corner, and I was invited to that, which was you know, a great honor. And that kind of stems on from the National Trust, because he was doing a lot of work with the National Trust.
That's huge.
And as you know, I've also made a great link with the National Trust recently, which again is just another sign that, you know, the path and what we're doing and the message that we want to bring to the world is real.
It's a great organisation as well. You know, it's such a great message. It's such a great, you know, it's they're like the good guys.
Oh, they're lovely. Shout out to all the National Trust family that I've met, especially at Dunham Massey. And also I want to shout out to the National Trust at the Bath Assembly Rooms, which was we did an event with the sound system in the Assembly Rooms in Bath on the...
Is this the church?
On Saturday. No, this is sort of some big prestigious venue with chandeliers and all sorts in the middle
How
of
you
Bath.
haven't smashed this chandelier, bro? I don't know how you.
No, we just take it steady, you know. We just take it easy, because again, it's really more. It's sort of an exhibition of love for the Emperor, you know, and yeah, I've got something for you as well before we end the show as well, because as you said, you know, I sell many books. Yes. This is a gift for you. This is a book called Imperial Exile by my good friend Keith Bowers, who's become a good friend of mine now. This is one of my best-selling books in my store, Selassie Books on Facebook. Check it out.
Thank you,
got
man.
Hundreds of books about the Emperor and about Ethiopian Christianity, which is for everyone, you know. Rastafari is for everyone, you know. Rastafari is not just for a certain group of people. Rastafari is for all people, you know, because it's just a connection to God, you know. And this man came to Britain and lived in Britain, and on Saturday we celebrated 70 years of him coming to Bath again, returning to Bath. Where he lived in exile, and he was made free man of the city. So we call it Freedom in the City Festival. So we had, I think, 700 people come through the assembly rooms on Saturday and experience all different kinds of things about Rastafari, Ethiopian. The great-granddaughter of Haile Selassie was present as well. Her Imperial Highness Princess Esther, who I had the pleasure to meet again as well at a dinner on the previous evening at Fairfield House on the Friday. So yeah, so I'm kind of like a representative of the king now, like literally, and it's very, very amazing, and I absolutely love it, and I just feel so honored. But again, it shows me that, you know, that putting your trust in the Almighty, then all these things happen. You know, you don't have to, like with ONEDUB, you know, like the anxiety thing. Yeah. Like with ONEDUB, there was always this worry about, you know, how much people's gonna come to the event, or so many things that like on my mind. But now I think the way I'm doing my thing now, I don't have any of those worries anymore. You know,
that's a good place to be.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I love it, man.
I think that when I've spoke to you on the phone, and This is why you really interest me as well, is that you offer wisdom or advice that I feel like it feels very natural, but normal life just gets in the way.
Yeah.
And all the other jargon and rubbish and fucking shit on telly or whatever.
Yeah.
You just don't. You get jumbled up, and then I think I've had conversations with you, and you've just, bro, you are cheaper than therapy, bro.
No, but that's
you
what it is.
Therapy, man.
But that's what I even say.
Yeah.
Even we had another spring off event from ONEDUB, which I called Dub Rehab. Yeah. It was called Dub Rehab. It was a collaboration. It was another promoter from Leicester. We used to do like joint nights. But it is a healing.
Yeah.
Like I say, I recently had an event with my sound system at the Dark Horse. 12 years of ONEDUB recently, and somebody who comes regularly, and she won't mind me saying, big up to Lamara and all the crew. She came to the event, and the next day she messaged me saying that she goes, I nearly didn't come to the event last night because on the morning of the event I was rushed into hospital. And I was like, what? And she goes, all my family said I shouldn't go to ONEDUB, because you've just been rushed into hospital, like critically. And she just told them that I have to go to ONEDUB. And she came incredible. And because she had really high blood pressure and all sorts going on for weeks, and she came to ONEDUB.
Did you know this at the time?
No, I didn't know this at the time. She told me this the following day, and basically, to cut a long story short, she basically said that she came to ONEDUB, and the next day she felt the greatest she's felt for weeks. And when she checked her blood pressure, the blood pressure was literally the lowest it's been for like 3-4 weeks.
Soothing, bro. It's soothing.
And again, this is the teachings of Jashaka. He explains how sound is a healing, but it can also harm you as well, depending on what, the frequency. He used to talk about the frequency of it. And that's what I try to hone with my sound system, is like a nice frequency. A lot of people, I've had so many like compliments about the sound. Yeah, it can be loud, but we can also turn it down a bit as well and just kind of, But people always compliment the quality of the sound, and I think that's the most important thing, rather than the loudness and the scriptures, the Bible says to make a joyful noise. So you want people to feel joyful when they hear the music and not run away from it because it's too loud or it's too, whatever it may be, or too much chatting on the mic, which again I know is part of reggae culture, but to me, with what I'm doing, the roots thing, it's not too much. You just let the music play, like Shako said, let your music play. You just say, just let it play,
I think it can progress really, really well. Like, you can start off with it being nice and chilled, and then you can always take it up a few levels.
Dub music, there are different sort of styles within dub as well. So you can, So you would just play like with some of the old school reggae, and then you bring it maybe a bit newer. Then you can play some of the newer stuff, and you kind of just mix it up, you know what I mean? That's the great thing. There is a lot of music. There's a lot of producers out there.
Is there any new producers that you're listening to at the moment? Because it's good to sort of get new music out there.
There are so many new labels coming all the time. There's a producer from France that I really like, Power Dread. Big up Power Dread every time, Martin Dread. He has this very like rough like style. It's like it's raw, man. Yeah, it's nice. But I like all kinds of different styles, And I've obviously, I recently brought out ONEDUB records as well, because I just felt like, my brand got quite well known. So I thought I've always wanted to release a record. So I released one. It's been quite hard work, but I've sold, we pressed 500 records, 15. I wish. 500 records and sold pretty much all of them now. Done
Good,
over
man,
400. But it's quite expensive game, do you know what I mean? But I'm hoping to do some more soon. And I've also voiced some records as well. So like a French producer, All Nations Records, big up. They included me on an album where again I just read some like quotes of Haile Selassie over like a reggae beat.
That's cool,
and it's done really, really well. And I've just done another one as well recently, and I've been asked to do lots of other different ones, which I've just need to sort of get into the studio and get them done. But I'm not rushing. So Yeah, so ONEDUB kind of started with a one event, and then it's just turned into all these other things, you know?
It's great how it can ripple out.
Yeah.
It's great.
But it could be doing more, but it's just me. That's the problem. It's just me. It's like I need good people to make it.
Like a team.
Yeah, I need a team. Honestly, I do. But I just leave everything in the hands of the Almighty, you know, and just take time. There's no rush, you know.
People will just turn up when they need to turn up.
But they do, to be honest, because, you know, when I have to move the sound system, sometimes I'm just on my own, and all of a sudden somebody will just...
Yeah, that's a big job, man.
You know,
I saw it, bro.
You've seen it? Yeah.
When we was unpacking, bro, you know that it'd been like a long weekend for me. I was like...
Oh, yeah.
We was packing the speakers, everything down. I was like, I can't wait to get out of here.
I know. But that's part of it, you see, you know?
Yeah.
That's part of it. It's a real a livication. We don't say dedication. We say it's a livication. You know, it's a real service. You know.
Listen, bro, we have to do a call it a
time
night,
up.
mate. It's been amazing having you on. Like, you're such an important person to me. I don't even think you realise. Like,
no, man.
I've always been
to you, bro,
in touch with you, bro. So thank you for coming down.
No problem, man. It's an honour.
Thank you for Tom and Poppy for for staying awake, and Leon in the corner. He looks like it. My mate Leon, he looks a bit shifty there, doesn't he?
Nah, man, he's all right, man. He's a Villa fan. He's all right.
Nice one. Thank you for
Yeah,
tuning
man,
in,
big
everyone.
up everyone, yeah. Big up,
Thank
and remember
you.
to support this show, yeah. When's the next one, bro? Tell them.
It will be the end of November with Jim Shaffryan from Miss Moneypennies. That's big. That's a big show.
Time for one more thing. I have an event, ONEDUB event at the Dark Horse on Sunday, the 3rd of November, from about 8 p.m. till about midnight with the sound system. So come down, yeah.
Nice, man.
Rastafari.
I'm gonna try and come, bro.
Yeah, man, come, man.
Okay, thank you. Big up.